From the mountains of the Great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, this is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin.
Listen to him thumping. If you don't get excited and have fun, then there's no need in coming down here. If you don't want to catch a lot of fish and catch big ones and be wore out from fish pulling on you, bruises on your side, don't come to Venice, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to catch a bunch of fish and you're going to have a good time.
It brings it all the way back in full circle every time you feel that bobber under there and you pop it and there's a huge explosion and it goes under. It's going to make you a young kid again. There he's right behind it.
Oh, you got it.
That's so awesome. Hey, I'm not going to lie. I've caught a lot of redfish in my life, and I understand that you have to pace yourself now. I remember back when I first started, man, as soon as I unhooked one, I wanted to run back up there. And then when I was done, I was like this little, just a piece of jello. Now I understand that this is a marathon and not a sprint.
Yeah, you know, Wade, he'd always volunteer whenever I'd hook up with one. I'll get the net for you, I'll get the net for you, being the nice guy. He wasn't being the nice guy, he was taking a break, is what he was doing.
You know, you hook one and you take a break and you wait for somebody else to catch one and then you get to run the net. It doesn't look like you're wimping out quite as bad because you're helping, they're thinking, but you're really taking a break.
This is just a 7-foot rod too.
Yeah, it's just a basic 7-foot rod.
You know, we were using some rods today that this is the first time I've got to use them, the Salt Striker rod. Rigged everything up, got it ready to go. I'm thinking, man, I might be a little understaffed for what we're about to do, because I've done this before. But man, it impressed me, it really held up.
When you start looking at rod selections, and I get asked this a lot of times, people will say, you know, what's a good all-around rod? What covers everything? My advice to a lot of people in that situation is a 7 to 7.5 foot rod, medium heavy to heavy, depending on where you think you're going to use it the most, and you personally have to answer that, like the Cabela Salt Striker ZX Series. It's perfect for a mix of fishing categories out there. A guy can pick up 1 or 2 rods, maybe a 7-footer medium heavy, maybe a 7.5 medium heavy or a heavy action, and he's got everything covered that he's going to need. Pair that with a 2500 or a 3000 class inshore special fishing reel by Cabela's, put it on some braided line and a leader, and you've got a combination that's going to match up for fishing little 1/8 jig heads on jetties for speckled trout, all the way up to tying on, you know, a popping cork and a 1/4 ounce jig head with a soft plastic and targeting big giant bull red.
Yep. To end the day up, both of us hooked up. Wade hooked up first, I think, and then I hooked up. And then when you do that, it's just a fiasco.
I got one in, let me get yours.
With a redfish, you're just hanging on. Whichever way he wants to go, he's gonna go.
Woo-wee.
We landed them, ended the day perfect, you know, 2 fish holding up for the camera, getting pictures of them. Just an awesome day.
Woo-wee.